There we go.
Yep.
For a timestamp, that dual existence are in the same area.
You know what I'm talking about? It's like the
Oh, yeah,
diagram.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
So, uh,
It's like flipped,
no, I
like
mean,
half flipped.
yeah, they're in the same rings. So like D1, density 1 and density 5 exist in the same place. They're just they're just upside down to each other. Um, but no, the reason we pulled D12 from below us is because there's, I think it's chakra 12
Oh yeah.
and 10. I don't know if it's more than those, but I know chakra 12, it's split. There's two of them. So half of it is above us and half is below our feet.
Mm.
It's like chakra 12A and chakra 12B. You know what I mean? There's two locations for chakra 12. So that's why we pull from underneath of us. I don't remember the procedure for the Mahart shield because it's been a really long time since I've done that one. I don't usually do that one, but I you do connect to Earth's core, right? But the actual Maharic shield that's spinning below you is only like 6 inches below your feet. It's like the Maharic shield is spinning like a disc, like 6 inches below your feet. I think it's either 6 inches or 12 inches. So I don't remember the exact technicals for doing it.
So you say that's different than what I
Yeah.
was showing.
Yeah, the reason we pull D12 from under us is because of where our 12th chakras are, our 12th chakra. It's not because of where density 1 and density 5 is.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Um, the Maharic shield is below our feet. You'd have to remind me, what are you connecting to in Earth's core when you do that tech? Because like the Nomi seed wasn't there. We weren't connecting to the orb
Yeah,
reservoir
they say D12. They
or any.
say D12 currents.
All right. Well, then they're just because probably because everything comes through there. Like we were pulling it
Oh,
through the planet, through the planetary grids, right? We're anchoring it into the planet and then pulling it up into ourselves. Is that what's happening?
uh, no, I think because they say the Hierophant symbol, like you focus on the Hierophant symbol.
Yeah.
That's like the Star David,
Yeah.
and then you just bring in D12 currents uh from the Earth's core with
Okay.
your breath. Yeah. But I don't know the Mahar shares like that too much.
Yeah. So we have our own Maharic shield, and that's like spins like 6 inches below our feet. But we connect to the Earth core because like that's where like all the source energies basically come through. That's like the portal where we pull from source through. There's a one above us, we pull from above us, like on our vertical, like our central
Mm,
vertical column. It's
yeah,
connected all the way up in the Christ at the Christ star, all the way up in chakra. Our 15th chakra is like out in deep space, really far. But then it goes, then our central vertical column, it keeps going down and it connects all the way into the core of the earth. So we pull energy down from above us and up from below us, depending on what we're doing. Because those are the two like 0 point like connections that we have. So it's not that the D12 current originates in Earth core. And so that's why we're pulling it from there. We're
mm,
pulling it through Earth core because that's
where our
our
chakras is.
connection
That's
point.
right.
It's like a gateway where we pull any current through, or like many currents. You understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. What is the difference between the Stealth Shield Sun 8 Arudas and the Effie? I don't see Effie listed on the list of consciousness fields. What list of consciousness fields?
Yeah, it's in the video. I should have put the timestamp. Do you probably could find it in the Dropbox, the consciousness fields.
Was I looking in the KDDL 2 manual?
Yeah.
Okay. Consciousness field.
It's not-
Well, I was looking for the Ruda cells, so that would be, what's this showing us? Akusha, this is the Akusha Ruda, first of the first 8 cells, crystal. So this is the spirit body
Mhm.
of the cosmos. It's also what ours looks like, but we have a smaller one. So the middle part is called the Luma Eterna, and then it contracts into the core and pulses and comes out with the bigger one around it, giving birth to the Illum Aridana. This is what has to do with the Aruda. It's not this one though. I think it's the next level. What are these? All the gates. Okay, so this is the Effie here on the left. Are you familiar with this structure here?
Yeah. Yes. The Effie. Yeah.
Yeah. Stealth Shield Sun 8. Okay, so Sun 8 is what we find here.
Oh
That
yeah,
would
I
be
think this is where the question came from. You see those lists right there?
the lists. Oh, over here.
Yeah.
This. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
didn't see Effie in that list, so that's how I was
yeah, because it's
like the Sun 8 was like the last one. I thought, yeah.
yeah. Sun 8 Stealth Shield. First root sun cell of the first 8 plasma sun cells, Tantri Leia field. Contains 8 fire and ice first plasma Alhambra core creation crystals. So this stuff, this is all here in here in the core of the Cosmia. See, it says 8th hidden sun of Cosminiahas.
Okay.
So the Cosmea up here, the ones that group like the ruche or the monad, these 12 balls with the 13th, these group into these like this. So
Okay.
seven of these here, and then what's considered the eighth is the thing that's around it and then at the core. And so it's like, do you know the first of the first 8 cell, or the 8 cell cluster that forms at the core of the spirit body in the core
Uh
sequence? No, wait. Let me pull up a second window. It's the one back here. Okay, so when you're going through the core creation sequence, yeah, it goes, we have the seed atom, it goes to this. So here you birth this whole
So
thing.
what's
This whole thing
okay.
is called the first of the first 8 cells. So that first cell, it's not just an empty bubble. The first cell contains all of this inside of it. This is the first cell. And it's here at the middle. And then 7 more come out, basically birth out. And those are known as the 7 sons of God. And so it mimics the same, this same structure is mimicked when you go up. As you go in, the same structure is mimicked up there. So like there's small ones of these at the core of the spirit body, and then there's huge ones that are at the cosmic level, that are like places that we go to, right? Like they're actual like places that you visit. And so like the Earth has a set of a first 8-cell crystal and 8 cells, right? The first 8 cells for Earth, for the planet. If you go to those 8 cells, those are the small like code. That's what called the halls of records. You know how we talk about the halls of records, the Adashic record and Akashic records, and these halls of records. That's what these are. That's what's in these. And so that's what's, it holds the imprint, the organic, like eternal encryption is in there. And then it's the once you get up to the Cosmea, where's my other tab?
So what's the CDD plate? CDT plates?
So those are holographic discs that were created specifically for the Amenti rescue mission. So those are records that were created from like the histories, but they're not part of like the 8-cell hall of records. They're actual discs. The Cloister Dora Tora plates. They're silver holographic discs, like with our recorded history on it.
That makes sense. Can you go back down a little bit? Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. So these group like this. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cosmeas, right? And then at the core here, this smaller ball, this one, that's called the Cosminyahas. And this these all together called the Cosmaya. So the eighth hidden sun. So here you see it's called the halls of Cosminyahas. First 8-cell cluster.
So the 8th hidden sun is the first sun, technically?
The 8th hidden sun would be the one that is, it's the one here at the core that goes, okay, so there's like a second 8-cell cluster in the core here. Like there's this big 8-cell cluster that makes the Cosmaya. And then in the core, Cosminyahas, there's another 8-cell cluster. And that's the first 8-cell cluster that is where the 8th hidden sun is. So the 8th hidden sun is the smallest one at the core, and it's the big one that goes around it. So that's why they call it like the hidden sun, because it's the one that contains all the other ones. It's around all the other 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so then, oh, here it is. The eternal 7 sons of internal creation and the hidden 8th sun. So this is where you see the border out here. This big part, this is external creation. The core is internal creation. This is where we cross from external to internal.
Oh, okay. So that's like from the middle, that's like D1, and it keeps going out D2, D3, D4. Like once you start from the middle, you expand out to the edges.
Are you thinking of the ovals, the rainbow?
No.
I'll show
Yeah,
you
I'm kind
how
of
that
thinking
lays
of
on top.
like a human in the middle. I don't know. A human body in the middle. That's D1.
I don't
But
know.
we
Yeah,
have
I don't know
like
if we ever saw this geometry like on the body.
okay.
I'm not sure. I know these 8 crystal, these are called the 8 fire and ice Alhambra core creation crystals. These are located in our body in different places. So there's 4. The first 4 are in our back here, like at our wing spot on our back. 1, 2, 3, 4 are back there, and then 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll get you the sheet that shows you where they are, but it
Yeah, I
doesn't.
think I know what you're talking about too.
You know what I'm talking? Okay.
Yeah.
So then these group in like this. So there's 4 of those. Cosmia. So if the whole big ball is called the Cosmia, if you take 4 Cosmias and put them around like that, they group like that, and then this middle one is different. It's called something different. But then it's 3 of these that make the Effie. It's 3 of these that group into the Effie, which is
3 of the middle.
3
3
of
of the middle.
3
Oh,
of
okay.
this.
Okay. Yeah.
So 3, it's called 1. This whole thing is called the Ahu Striyajatu. And then at the core is called the Ahu Strijatahu. Jatu is the big outside one. There's 3 Jatus in an Effie, and each Ahu Striyajatu, 3 of those make the Effie, and at the core of each of these is 1 Ahu Strijatahu in here.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
That middle part.
Yeah, this is in the configuration of another 8-cell cluster. It's the same geometry. And so the center of this, so this is 1 Fe ball, okay? This is 1 Fe ball. So if you can imagine, there's 1 of those here, and 1 of those here, and 1 of those here. 3 of these, right? So it's these cores where we have this configuration that, okay, now I'm going to go over here because you see the guts, you see the balls here on this one, but you're not going to see those over here. Over here, you see the cathedral codes. Yeah, right. So why do we see those cathedral codes? Because it's those cathedrals would be right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? It's just not on the diagram because they're showing you this other layer. Do you follow that, what I'm saying about the cathedrals? That's what the cathedral gates are. So the cathedral gates on the planet connect right here to this level, the Cosmia, or I'm sorry, the Ahu Striyajatu and the Ahu Strijatahu. So at the core, so if you can imagine cathedral gates going around here, we have gates 2, and 2 is above, 3 is below, 4 is over there, 4 is, and 5 is on the other side. The 1 is the Ahu Strijatahu. The 1 is at the center, and it's these cores. So it's the same with the cathedral gates, right? These balls correspond with those cathedral gates, and they're literally they're the gates that we pass through, like they're connected to the mountain gates in Peru and whatever, and this is what they connect to. And here, so there's 3 sets of them, right? 1, 2, 3, and then now let me show you where those other ones line up. Okay, down here you wanted to know, so Effie, here it's listed at the bottom. So this is telling you all the consciousness fields. It says down here at the bottom, the Effie is the eternal first field intelligence living pre-substance plasm consciousness field. Yeah. Okay.
Pre-substance. Do you know like what the name means, like, or
Effie?
Pre-substance plasma, pre-substance plasma.
Yeah, that is. I don't know where that sheet would be. Where are the 12 steps of materialization? Oh, maybe I can search it. Okay. Do you know this page? This
I'll
appears
probably
in
have to go
many
back.
manuals. The first 12 steps of materialization, the progression from consciousness to matter. Consciousness. So this came out, this was out long before the Tantriora teachings started. And so it was right here. It's in 1 through 5. You see pre-substance state 1, plasm 1, cool crystalline eta or feeling stream. So these 5, here's the 5 pre-substance conscious plasms. Translation sequence, this is pre-Partakai creation. So the first Partakai is created here between steps 5 and 6.
First Partakai?
First Partakai,
Oh,
yes. These first 5 steps are pre-Partakai, before the Partakai. These are the eta or conversion. So the eta ors are the ethers that are the first pre-substance that source turns itself into from its totally one-ified state where source is just undividuated and undifferentiated field of endless consciousness. So it begins to differentiate that like into this is the first, it's pre-substance plasms. And so the first thing that happens is a feeling or a desire. It had a desire to create a feeling stream. And this is cool. So it had this desire and it's that we're still cool, this feeling stream. And then between 1 and 2, you have a warming. So it goes from being a desire into an emotion and then into a notion, but emotion, notion are both in step 2. And you see it starts to warm up, warm liquid eta or. So as source has a feeling or a desire, then the focusing of source's attention at a certain point causes that cool crystalline plasm to warm up. It gets warm and then it goes from being warm to being heated. And then to, in step 3, that heat, when that heat builds to a certain point, you get that spark. It turns into the electrified heat vapor, eta or. And this is when an emotion becomes a thought. That's in step 3. So from there, we have state 4, hydroplasm, liquid gel. So then these thoughts, these are clouds, like electrified heat vapor clouds. And now these clouds are going to start to condense. So you know how like the clouds in the sky, when they get enough water into them, they turn into rain and it falls down, right? Like it goes from being a vapor in the cloud to a liquid raindrop. This is the same thing. Electrified heat vapor thought clouds that build energy in quantum until they condense back into this liquid raindrop, you could call it, or liquid idea gel. Now it's gelling. And from there, then it goes from this liquid gel state into gossamer thread crystallized eta or idea crystals. So then it goes back to the solid. I mean, solid state. We're talking about, these are all basically vapor states of eta ors. Like it's not really like a solid like we think of it, but yeah. So that's
Is
what we're
it the
talking about.
scalar wave? Is it the scalar waves? The same.
Well,
Same.
a scalar wave is a standing sound and light field. It's a sound wave, a standing sound wave, spherical sound wave, scalar wave, right? It's a standing wave. So those happen when we get to the first Partakai. When the first Partakai splits, well, I guess to the second Partakai splits Partakai 1, then we have the sound and the light. But before the Partakai, we don't have that yet.
Mhm.
Did you follow that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense. Damn.
So from there, from those, so those 1, 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, those correspond right with these. These are those plasm fields. So plasm 1 exists. That's what this ball is made out of, pre-substance plasm 1. And this is plasm field 2, plasm field 3, plasm field 4, plasm field 5. And they correspond with the cathedral gates and all of that. Those that one at the center with the 4 around it. So like these balls, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls are like literally made out of these 5 plasms.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And
Makes
then they
sense.
each also correspond with an elemental command also. So the ether, the ether command would be the number 1 at the center. And then the other 4 elements are created from that ether. Air would correspond with 2. I forget the correspondences. I don't want to say them and be wrong. So what's your next question? Did I even answer your other question?
Yeah,
I don't
you did. You did. You taught me a lot.
know. Okay.
I think I don't know. I
Those are
kind
the
of
only
got
2 questions.
I guess we could start with like these codes. You know the codes that come with the KDL too? The sun rays and stuff like that. The rainbow rays. The safe haven codes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't understand like the backstory of those codes.
Okay.
I see the cathedral there, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so these have to do with the Panakai, the Chi waves. Here they are. And so these are the time, let me see. You remember this one from the Freedom Teachings?
I know the colors, those
Yeah,
colors.
the
I don't think I've seen that code though.
Quanta Rua. So this was given when? Way back. Let me see. This was like way back. 1313 Cosmic Christ Ark of the Covenant. This was in the 2000s. It was pre-Tantri Art. It was definitely Freedom Teachings. I think Michael had something to do with bringing this through. Quanta Rua. So what's happening? Okay, do you see in this code here this pattern, the black lines? Do you see how they see there's a double Merkaba, a 12-pointed Merkaba in this code?
That's remarkable.
And then there's a smaller one at the center.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay.
The
And then
12.
what else do we see? We see these up and down, this like 4-pointed petals, 4, right? So like we have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. And these petals that connect to them. Okay. So this is kind of showing you this same type of code, the same code, these 2 12-pointed Merkabas, but it took out the color, basically, and put these pink dots. So let me see that. I wonder what the easiest way to explain this is. These, see how these pink dots are forming a square? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's another square in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is that same code in a line drawing. Here there's still a square. Here now we see double. Now we see the outer and the inner with the pink balls. So what these balls are called, they're representing what's called the seals of Kaliakshite. And they are seals that keep
See?
plasma. So our plasma template is the same thing as a time template. Does that make sense to you? So like if you can imagine, we just talked about the 5 elements with the ether and the 4 other elements that come out of it, right? Air, water, fire, earth, crystal. And then so that's the 1 and the 4. There's a 6th element, or you could say a pre-1. It actually comes before ether, is time, and it's an element. It's an elemental, basically. These are time waves. And these pink balls act like seals that keep the different time waves separate from each other. Okay, so if you stack squares on top of each other, they don't interact, right? Because they're squares. If you could stack blocks up, and they don't, one block doesn't ever go into the other block. But if you rotate a square into a diamond so that this square corner, the corner of this square is pointing up here, if you just turn it, if you had squares stacked on top of each other, now their points are gonna stick into each other. They're gonna interact. So basically what these balls are doing, these codes, these are opening the time template seals between your plasma templates so that we are connecting to a different time wave. So these are seals that keep those time waves separate, and when they rotate into the diamond configuration, those time waves are opening to each other.
Hmm.
And that is what's happening. So the Panikai passage, so that's what's happening is we are blending with the time wave of internal creation that's coming through, that's coming from here, from the center of the Effie ball, the first Effie ball. We started just in our Effie ball, and we opened all 3. We had to open all 3. We were only going to do R1 and connect to our deity planes that's here in our Effie ball, but it wasn't enough quantum. Our planetary Xeon wasn't going to have enough quantum to make it into internal, so they had to open. That's what in KDDL2, when she starts talking about the pan dance, that's when we connect this Effie ball, our Effie ball, with the other Effie ball, and then the big Effie ball up here to connect to all 3 centers of the 3 Effie balls together. And that's pulling like mega frequency. I mean, we're talking about from the literal like core of creation, like the original way in that first Effie ball. But those 3 points, those 3 centers of the 3 Effie balls, when we connect those together, that's what's called the passage of the 8s.
Okay.
Have you heard that word?
Yeah, I heard passage of the 8s.
So that's what this is. This is basically going through. So these actually, this was like a real photo from the sun. These were plasma time template codes being flashed through Soul here. Like these codes came through our sun, and they photographed them as they were coming. And you still can get these pink balls different times. If you point your camera up there, you can sometimes catch them. I've seen them before.
With that same template? You
Yeah,
think?
yeah. Sometimes you see them like that. Sometimes it's just 4 and not 8. Yeah, you could see them. They're different. It's different. They change, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Okay, so did we answer that question?
yeah. Uh, so the silver seed, I heard that these have to do with silver seed. How does silver seed play into this? And the other seeds, and what do they mean by silver seed? What are like elemental commands? What does those do? Yeah.
The elemental commands. Well, they work with the element. So the elementals are here. So you see ether,
Oh,
You have
yeah, yeah, yeah.
ether benders, right? Ether, air is 2, water is 3, crystal or earth is 4, and then 5 is fire. Yeah. And then now we have this, and it's actually, it's a 6th one, but they have an 8 there. They call it the 8 because it's here. It's this passage of the 8s. That symbol looks almost like the infinity symbol
Mm-hmm.
here. That's time. So that's the time elemental, you could call it. And this cathedral template is the eternal elemental command template. So each one of these cathedral gates corresponds with one of these elementals. But then you have the time elemental that is behind them, behind it all, that all of these come out of.
Like a
Like
family.
like a what?
Like a family. Like it all goes to a family, like the
Yeah,
elements.
like it's so like the time waves, this one you see here now, the Afia Alhambra, this time wave, it's a template. It's the stuff that then becomes these all the other elementals and everything that comes after it. It's like existing before it. First you have a time wave, and then you have the elemental waves that come from them, the ethers and air and all of that. But first it's in the form of time waves. And there's long run time waves and short run time waves. And that's what these mechanics get into, and they're freaking crazy. But they talk about those on here or not. These are all time wave mechanic diagrams.
Time wave mechanics.
Time wave
Okay.
mechanics, yeah. Crazy. Okay. Let's see. What I really want, I guess. Well, okay. Just for a minute. Can you remember these 3? So it says primary interplanial Merkaba accretion sequences, internal
That's
and
right.
external creation. Okay. And there's
Yeah.
3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So you know how in the freedom teachings, you learn about that ascension, part of ascension is building your Merkaba, right? So when you start out just down here in density 1, and then you go up to density 2, you combine density 1, density 2, now you have a 6-pointed Merkaba with 6 vectors of travel. Then you go integrate density 3. Now you've got 9 vectors of travel. You integrate density 4. Now you've got 12-pointed Merkaba. Now you've got those, right? And you continue building your Merkaba. Those are shown up here. You have your single biveka Merkaba right here, right? And you activate that. And then you keep going through the ascension process. It turns into a double biveka Merkaba. And that's it. Your Merkaba grows as you climb the stairway to heaven, right? Up to the Unisai or the Eukatharista body, right? Until then, that's what happens. Is it even on here? Yeah, is it this one? No. Trivecca, Akasha, Merkaba, 6 to 12 vector, double trivector, Akasha, Christar Merkaba, 12 to 24 vector, Mashayahana, Amareya Merkaba, 48 vector. So you see how these Merkabas are growing. This is the process of ascension and how you move up through that stairway to heaven. So when you do that, when you get to that turnaround point and you complete the ascension, the external creation ascension, you hit that turnaround point and you start to do Adashi return, right? The return cycles. There's 3 Adashi return cycles. Adashi return 1, 2, 3. Adashi return cycle 1, when you complete that, that's called the integration of your silver seed, is the completion of Adashi 1. Adashi 2 would be your golden silver seed, and then Adashi 3 would be your platinum seed. So you complete external ascension, you turn around, and now you're going through Adashi return cycles. So these would be like the ascended master cycles, right? Or the Mashayahana is where that's where the word Messiah came from. Mashaya. Okay, so I don't see the correspondences written on here. I would like to find them. I might need to pull up the other. Here you go. Okay. This is called The Long Way Home, the 6 Adashi Akashi True Flows Accretion Time Cycles of Mashayahanic Transfiguration Adashi Akashi Return. So here's the diagram that we're used to looking at, right? And so here's the core creation, inner, middle, outer, right? We come out from the core, and our materialized atomic bodies going this way, our spirit body is going this way. This is one-time vector, right? One-time vector, and then we move out simultaneously to the edge, and then we turn around and we come back. So all of the freedom teachings is pretty much talking about this, going out here to this turnaround point, and then we need to start going back. So these the diagrams that look like this, these are representing time cycles, and these are how many times you went around that core creation octant clock thing. Do you know what I mean by that? That graph, the core creation sequence that is the octant clock that takes you.
Yeah, I was good.
Yeah, so that's what these diagrams are showing you, that octant clock. It's showing you how many times did you go around. Every one of these rings jumps you up a level. So this is when you get out past inner, you go out this way. Oh, here, you start here. 1, 2, 3, turn around, and then back in, and you're getting bigger. You keep getting bigger. So this is saying 6 because it's talking about your 3 Adashi return cycles and your spirit body's 3 Adashi return cycles. Okay, so that makes 6, 3 and 3.
Are you being born again every Adashi step? Like Adashi 1? You said that's time? You said time?
It's a time cycle, yep.
Time
It's
cycle.
one trip around that octant clock.
Right. So then to Adashi 2, is that like you saying you being born again and then like doing that time cycle again?
These normally would take thousands of years, multiple lifetimes. If we were
That
taking,
makes sense. I'm
yeah,
thinking that like this is like one personal lifetime.
no, right. So that's why they call it the long way home. This would normally be thousands of years of evolution. Okay.
Okay. That
This
makes more
is
sense.
happening all now in our lifetime. All of it. That's why it's called now the short way home. Because what we find out is that these 3 Adashi return cycles, there's actually 2 more cycles that come after these to make a total of 5. And this is the same thing as true body activation. So in the freedom teachings, this process is called the Adashi return cycles. Tantriora teachings, it's called the silver seed, golden silver seed, platinum seed integration. Those are the 3 seeds, right? And then later when we get that level activated, after you go through these and the other 2, the whole thing together, we find out, is what is called true body activation. This is what true body activation is all of these put together, plus the 2 that come after it, which are called the ephemeralization. Oh, here it is. This is the page you want to look at right here. What page is this?
Oh, okay.
242.
KDDL too.
Yeah, and KDDL too. I wish I could turn this. I'll figure it out and maybe post it. Yeah, so the 3 victory seeds of Panakai, transplanial Merkaba, and the 8 stages of true body activation. Okay, so here, where are we? Okay, so see, I know this is sideways. See this pink and green one? This is the silver seed. This corresponds with the Panclara spectra, which is each of these 3 seeds also corresponds with 1 Fe ball. There's 3 seeds and 3 Fe balls. So they correspond, so the going through Adachi return is the same thing as integrating that level of creation. It is basically integrating your Fe body. I don't know if that makes sense, but so the silver seed is here, and you can see if you follow the dotted line, it corresponds with these 2, Adachi and Akashi. So I'm sorry, I've been saying it's the Adachi return, but the silver seed actually it's not just Adachi return. It's Adachi plus Akashi. It's your materialized side plus your spirit side back together. So it takes all 6 of these cycles. They're just, you have A1, Adachi 1, and Akashi 1 happening simultaneously on either side of the creation point door. Like in your materialized body, atomic body, and in your spiritual etheric body, it's happening, right? So doing those 2 to A1 and E1, Adachi, Akashi 1, both of them is what integrates your silver seed, and that integrates into your tailbone. That's where it materializes in your body. So then the Adachi 2, Akashi 2, right? Your atomic and etheric spiritual matter base, the 2, that's the golden silver seed. That's this one. See, it's showing you that it's E2 and A2 both together is what integrates the golden silver seed. And then the A3, E3 both together integrates the platinum seed. And you can see, remember on that page where we were talking about Merkabas, and I said, okay, remember, there's 3 Merkabas. I said, remember these 3 Merkabas? That's these 3. 1, 2, 3. Each one. So when your silver seed integrates, you activate this one.
The bivec is the bivec.
Which
the double
is this one right here. So that would be 216 vectors. And this is in the deity planes. Okay. We're talking about now, we've gone out of external creation. We've entered internal creation. And now we're moving in the deity planes and internal creation across 216 different time vectors. Okay. Then when we integrate golden silver seed embodiment, now, so this would correspond with the first Fe ball. This would be the second Fe ball here, golden silver seed. This has 864 vectors of travel in the deity planes. And then this platinum seed embodiment activates this Merkaba, which is 1,728 vectors. And this moves into the Chi planes because these 2 have to do with integrating the bottom 2 Fe balls, okay? Those bottom 2 Fe balls are where you find the deity planes, two different sets of deity planes, 1 for each ball. This third ball, this is the top Fe ball, out of which the bottom 2 come. So this one is not on the deity planes. This is where the Chi planes are, KHY, and that is from where those Chi waves come out, right?
Could you explain deity planes real quick? Sorry. Deity planes.
Oh, there's a kind of a simpler 5-stage Starfire transfiguration to enter Adachi 1. Oh, that's kind of a simpler just turnaround chart to show you what these correspond with. There's so many correspondences. Takes a while to sort it through. Deity planes. Okay. Oh, here you can see. Here, see, these are still in their square shape.
Yeah.
And then here you see these are in their diamond shape.
Yeah.
This is showing you how these interact, because these two would be touching then. When they're square, they don't touch. These are all the separate time cycles. But those sun codes are about, oh, here you can see. See, closed. The Calais, pink balls of fire, blue balls of ice. The Calais Akshate time template true seals. So these are closed in their square position. Open, flows run between them. So that's what all those sun codes are about, is making the squares into diamonds so that these different time waves can blend. The pink balls of fire are made of infra-pink D8 EM infrared frequency from Pan-Clara and Panicolita spectras. And the blue balls of ice are the intra-blue semi-spherical singing sound frozen plasma vibrational field of the sheath of Lila, elf love field, the absolute protectorate of the Aphia. That's a mouthful. Okay. We're talking, you asked me about
Deity planes.
the deity planes. That's, I think we should go back up. Okay. So let's get our bearings of what we're looking at here. So here's the Effie, right? This
Right.
big ball. So this ball here is where we are. And over, this is just showing you a close-up of this ball, okay? This is a close-up of this,
Okay.
okay? So on this side over here, you know, the same way where density 1, density 5 are in the same rings, just upside down from each other, you can see on here the harmonic universes.
Yeah, yeah.
The same way,
You
so
said 5 and 6.
what?
You said 5 and 6?
No, D1 and D5, density 1 and density 5. Like you asked in
Oh,
your first
okay,
question,
yeah,
they're in the same place, right? It's the same thing with the deity planes. So you would say external creation and internal
Oh,
creation. So you can see, if you imagine this line, this vertical staff line is dividing this Effie ball in half.
mhm.
They're labeling the inner half here as internal creation, and this half a ball over here as external creation. Okay. Really, they're both a full ball existing in the same place, but we need to be able to draw a diagram to differentiate them to see like what's happening, right? So the same thing with D1 and D5, that same thing. They're in the same place. They're just because of the orientation of them, they can exist in the same place at the same time, but be separate from each other. When the balls, the pink and blue balls, are in their square position, external creation and internal creation of this Effie ball here are separate from each other. When those square pink and blue balls turn into their diamonds, now this half of the ball, or the external creation, is open to the internal creation. This is where the deity planes are. So our deity planes for this Effie ball is here, internal creation, schismatic, tryptoplasmic. Okay, these are the Pan-Clara, do you see down at the bottom? Pan-Clara deity planes. They're here in this FE ball, okay? So at first, when we first connect into internal creation, when we connect in through that, the core of the Cosminiahas, through Sun 8, and we anchor those frequencies, when we do that first, what we're connecting to through this D8, through the 8th dimensional, through here, through the center, is we're connecting our external creation, Tanchiti Kelantic creation, with this one, this internal creation, deity planes, schismatic tryptoplasmic, the Panclara deity planes. That's what we're connecting together first. When we first connect into the Maya and the Cosminiahas and Sun 8, that's here on our side. So we did that. And what we want, what the point of that was to be able to open the eye of Lila, that I think. Well, it was to anchor the host. It was the point. We needed to be able to keep the host anchored into the planet. So we did this. We needed frequency from the deity planes. So they opened this doorway. We connected in to our deity planes over here on our ball. Then the Guardians realized it, because of the invisible war drama, it always escalating, this wasn't going to be enough. The planetary Xeon, which is the birth quantum, was going to fizzle out. It wasn't going to make it. It wasn't going to make it through the part of the time cycle to make this leap. So what we had to do was connect to this, add the frequencies from this side over here, the other FE ball. So this one's called the Pana Colita deity planes. So there is an eternal schismatic tryptophasic creation that would correspond with our external, but you can see they're made out of different stuff. These are all eternal, okay? This one, these are all eternal except for ours. External, Tanchiti Kelantic, this is where a fall can happen. Okay, so over here, it's a schismatic tryptophasic base array is the stuff it's made out of. Down here, it's schismatic tryptoplasmic. Over here, it's schismatic tryptophasic, eternal creation. And the other half, the deity planes on this side are made out of schismatic tryptonic stuff, like the base stuff that it's made, that it's made out of. And then when we did that, that's opening this passage of the 8s across. We also, okay, what am I saying? How can I say this? So this is where the first deity planes are. Did I answer your question? This is the deity planes.
I had another question for that.
All right, these are the deity planes that we're going to. That this is what we're taught when we say, "Oh, I'm going up to Sanctuary Island in my plasma body," and the deity planes. That's here. Internal creation, schismatic tryptoplasmic. We did end up anchoring the frequencies from all 3 FE balls to keep that planetary Xeon viable. We needed to. That's what's the passage of the 8s is. All 3 FE ball centers connecting. It does that by phasing. So this is the first phase, the birth, the Lila phase, when it's only overlapping this much. It's just a little, that's called the eye of Lila right there. And then as the balls come together, that eye gets bigger. And if you draw it, if you do the geometry, just get out a compass and draw this, what you'll find out is when the 3 balls, so now these are 30-degree angles here, 30 degrees. Here they were 45. When they get down to 30 degrees, you can see that the outside of this ball touches the center point of this other ball. And so this is where you can see in the geometry how the passage of the 8s work. It's the phasing of the FE balls And when they get to a certain overlap point where the outside of this circle is hitting the center point of the other ball, the other circle, now all three center points are connected. Do you follow that?
Yeah.
And that opens the eye of Trua. That's called the eye of Trua, and the passage of the eights. Okay. And we answered the deity planes. Okay, what's the next question?
Oh yeah, the deity planes. Do we pull energy from the deity planes?
Yes.
So on the body, do we pull it from the azure? Is that the deity plane? The azure, or is it the day center?
It would be the day center. It would be the day center and your tailbone. That's where the silver seed anchors, the Aya silver seed. So it's going to be, and then those two actually hook together. We do that in the embodiment class where and then we start those flows.
Could you go up a little bit? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Back to yeah, go back up.
That one?
Yeah. No, yeah, that one, yeah. So hold on. Yeah, so could you zoom into the right one, the external creation?
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I always imagine a human body in the middle of there. I'm not sure why. Uh, so that yellow ball, would that be like the azure? Is that the azure?
This would be, well, if you put a Cathara grid in
On a
here,
Cathara grid, yeah. Put a Cathara grid. Would that be the azure?
yeah, that's where the Azure would be located if you put a Cathara grid in here. The Azure is associated with our external creation body. So if you'll notice what we always are doing in the what do they call it, techniques and stuff. We're going from our day center. We breathe up into our day center and up into our silver seed crystal in the tailbone. Breathe from the day center up into the Azure. And then from the Azure, now we can bring it out. So like we don't ever go straight from the day center like out our hands. It has to come through that Azure to get into this body. I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Like
makes
we
sense.
definitely still use the Azure in all these texts, like when we're running stuff. So do you remember how chakra 8 comes like this in your head, right? Comes like this through your head.
Chakra, yeah, I didn't.
Chakra 8, it angles down, and the front of chakra 8 is right there hooked into your Azure. That's the D8. Like it's like that in our body too. Our 8th chakra is connected to our Azure. It comes out right here. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. You got another one?
So the truer body. So you said that's the truer body. That's truer body.
True body is when when you hook these together. So just over here would be like the Eye of Lila activation is just that one side. See Trua? Let me see. Okay, here. The embrace, Trua phase. The 2 becomes 3. The Eye of Lila opens, and it's this bigger eye called the Eye of Trua. When the passage of the 8s open. So what I'm saying is the Trua body brings frequency from all 3 Effie balls, not just one. But it's coming into our Effie ball. So it's pulling from here, over into here, and opening a little Eye of Trua over here in our Effie ball and in our body. Trua body is all of this frequency. not just our ball frequency.
Yeah, makes sense. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, what do you like advice, kind of like what topics you think I should like research more, or like probably study more
I,
to
I think,
understand like the
yeah,
country?
well, I mean, I don't know, like I've always just followed like my curiosity, so like,
Yeah.
yeah, and I jump around too. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if I can point you to a specific thing because I don't really know, what you're most like what I would follow like your curiosity. Like as you're studying this, like what are you most curious about? And then dig into that and go backwards until you figure out the answer.
All right then. Appreciate that. You kind of cleared up the questions that I had. And you taught me some stuff too from this
Okay.
call. So
Good. Yeah,
yeah, you
and
probably
I encourage you keep
come
write down the questions you
the
have.
questions. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, write them down and we could talk about them, but even writing them down so you have them, it's hard to remember,
yeah.
And so when you come back and you're like, all right, what workshop do I want to watch? Well, let me look at my questions and I'll find a workshop where they answer that question. That's kind of how I do it.
All right then.
But also ask your questions out loud because if you're
Yeah,
wondering, yeah, so is somebody else, guaranteed.
I
And
kind of
so,
I kind of feel like it's easy. It would be easier for me to ask questions now, because before I didn't even know like how silly my questions were, or like where I was at. I didn't really have like the closure I have now. So I probably have more questions after this.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. You have to know a certain amount to even be able to ask a question about it. So good. So the fact that you have questions is evidence of your growth.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions, and like I don't even know how to ask the question. You know, I don't even know.
Yeah, this stuff in KDDL too, where it's showing it's a lot. Like it takes a while to work through it. I mean, I said we could probably spend 5 years studying this manual. I wasn't kidding. Um, but yeah, keep going. You're doing awesome. Just real quick, this is what I meant when I said the chi waves. These things. These are the chi waves. See how they come out from the center Fe ball?
Hmm.
That's what you integrate when you integrate the platinum seed is the third Fe ball is this whole thing shows up in your field. So the human body on here, your head would be right here in the middle. So this connects to your pineal gland. That's why in the Tantri Ara teachings, the pineal gland, they also start to call it your chi gland, Khy, because of this. This is where this Panachi flux wave field here, this is your pineal gland right here at the center. So your
Oh,
azare would, so when you're looking at this on your body here, this whole thing would be around your head like you're a big lion, like these chi waves are like your mane, your lion's mane. And then down here would be your body, would come down here, and then your feet would be right here. So this would probably be the heart of a FEMA point. Where is wait, I think the picture's in here. Hold on. It would be with those sunballs, I think. This one. There it is. Personal plasma body, Panachi flux wave field, and alpha love activation. Okay. Yeah, see? This would be your heart of a FEMA, and here would be your pineal gland or your chi gland, and this would be your day center.
Okay.
And so your ArhAyas would be like right here. I guess it would be up here. I guess it would be right here because it connects to your, your arm currents come out your palms. So your ArhAyas, I guess, would have to be right there
Okay.
when you're talking about this level. And look what connects it to your palm chakras, the other two FE balls. So with your head and your two hands are the
I
three
see it.
centers of the FE balls. See how it's like the two hands
Yeah.
each have an FE ball?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right.
I'll probably have some more questions
Good.
another
This was
time.
fun.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. It was good to see you.
Yeah, same.